Alright guys, today we watched this video by Jamie Dev, so definitely go and check out her channel.
I made this game for almost 2 years, and when I revealed it to the public, this is what I got. But here's the thing, I think I know why I got this comment, and in this video I'm going to tell you exactly
Alright, most of the
what happened.
pixel art that were shown, that's properly not AI generated. It's just simple, not very well polished pixel art.
As a bonus, I'm going to show you how excited
Yeah, like see, this is just the pixel density between objects are wrong, like the tree and the cats and the box, and also the tile set artist style is different from the cats, and its pixel density too is not matching. Also, we are talking now about a very empty tile set while having very little props, so this is a very bad art direction. So I would advise a very different approach in going with art direction rather than this, because this sucks, and the HUD also is not the best thing ever in my opinion.
I was when Marnix from Bite Me Games played my demo until he started to absolutely roast my game.
Okay, this is AI 100%. So I guess she used AI for the capsule. Also, this text is very long for usual video games in Steam. So yeah, this the setuping of the Steam page is properly AI. And many people are doing this nowadays just because they don't want to take like 3 months to set up a really good Steam page or something like that. Which, yeah, it might be hard. Of course, you will not be able to do it just like Dead Cells or very big studios did it, but it's not really that complicated of a subject. If you just need 3 to 4 months. Like, for example, this is a game that I've worked on. So even if you do not make the best ever capsule, or like the best ever trailer or stuff like that, you might be having a good Steam page that's at least acceptable. It's not really that hard to make if you took your time and months in the production.
This feels like a game that could work in 2016.
No, 2016 is good, to be honest.
I think a question you would like to ask me would be, did you actually use AI for the game? And the answer is, it depends. This image you're seeing here
This is AI. This looks like AI. Or a very shitty art with a lot of shading that should not be there in the first place. It's very bad if it's really made by a person.
Will explain everything, but to tell the full story, we need to go back to 9 months ago. I was working on my game as usual until one day I learned that it's important to start collecting wish lists as soon as possible. And to collect wish lists, I needed to set up a Steam page.
Yeah, but you need to do that after the production is done. Many people don't understand it. You don't do it after a prototype. Like, have you seen the prototype of Little Big Planet, for God's sake? So this is the prototype of Little Big Planet by the and whatever studio. As you see, it's a bad thing to be set up in Steam. It looks like nothing like the full game. You cannot really do that. It's just a prototype, to be honest. And many people are getting this wrong. You can't publish anything on Steam, even for wish lists, because you will not get wish list when you have a shitty capsule and the shitty stuff and not a full content to market for the game. You need to do it in a post-production, in a marketing campaign. You need to put it in your plan that you have like 6 months for marketing. You publish stuff on YouTube, Twitter, or stuff like that. You collect wish lists. You cannot collect wish lists with your very early on prototype. Of course, people will not like it and would not wishlist your game. It's not about starting early, it's about starting right in this.
This advice was coming from Chris Sikowski, who is a very well-respected marketing expert in Steam games.
Yeah, but he never said, "Oh, do it whenever you've done your vertical slice or prototype." He said, "Do it when you can," which means in your marketing campaign.
When should I get my Steam page up? As soon as possible.
So
This is a very bad interpretation of his words.
putting up a Steam page quickly became my top priority. The problem is I had absolutely no clue how to put up a Steam page. But luckily, I had the chance to come across this.
So the problem is not about the guide, it's just that she does not know art. And that's something she does. It's not about she cannot create art, it's about she does not understand how arts work. So that's why she gonna suffer from setting up a Steam page, because you need a bit of a graphic design experience with doing that. So or a graphic design understanding. Yeah, like you can hire a graphic designer, but he can mess things up if you don't really direct him well. So it's about understanding how it works, not knowing how to do it. Of course, knowing how to do it helps a lot, but yeah. So it's not about the things, because these guides tell you how to put your game uploaded, put tags and stuff like that. They tell you how to upload a capsule, but they don't tell you about how could the capsule should be in the same or sometimes a bit different art style from your video game and stuff like that. It's a bit complicated thing to do.
A free course called How to Make a
Entire game suffers from very poor art direction, to be honest.
Steam page. When I was taking this course, there was so much to take away from each lecture. If it can educate someone as clueless as me, that means it's a really good course, so probably worth checking out if you haven't already. One thing I learned in this course about making Steam Capsule was...
Rule number 1, don't make your own capsule. You want a very...
Again, I agree with this. Of course, if you had the budget to not make your own capsule, to me, when I usually work in a big project, I just hire someone to make the capsule for me. But sometimes we have artists in our studio that already can do capsules, so they have an prior experience in making capsules for Steam. And yes, their quality is a bit more mediocre than the professionals, but it's okay. You can use this for indie and the wishlist phase of your project. But if you have no prior experience in movie poster production or video game capsules, and again, we're talking there is a guy for 2D and there's a guy for 3D. There's no guy that makes both, because the guy with 3D need to have a different expertise in that. So you need to choose a very professional guy to do that. They cost a lot. But if you don't want to do that, you're gonna need to spend a lot of months to understand how to make a good poster.
Good professional to do this.
So I hired an artist I found on Fiverr. He had great...
No, you want to have a good capsule artist at Fiverr. Most of the best game dev, you're gonna need to go into the community and talk to people, understand people from their career, because they do not really share that. Or in creative industry, there's no marketplace for you going and knowing who's do the best at who's. You need to go into the community, talk to people, ask them, understand their journey and stuff like that. You need to communicate, because most of working comes from communication in the creative industry and friendships that you've done before.
Ratings with an amazing portfolio. And you might have already guessed, but this was the result.
Oh.
I don't know what you think, but I wasn't happy with this capsule art because I don't think it captured the cute and cozy style of the game.
So just the fucking game is pixel art. The one looks like a shitty mobile game from 2010.
By the way, at that time, I was going to call the game Cat RPG, so that's why you're seeing
the name
this.
sucks.
I tried to fix things with the artist, but ended up having to scrap.
Yeah, this is sketch.
So that's why you're seeing this I tried to fix things
This is better than the previous one. Just need a little bit more coloring. Do not shade it. Do not shade it like the last image. Just base colors with base shadows and highlights. Don't try to be the like shading here with shadows like the last one. Just makes the art sucks. Because this is a very clean sketch.
with the artist, but ended up having to scrap the whole thing.
Ay,
After
ay, ay.
wasting time and money on the capsule, I had nobody else to blame but myself, because the truth is, I was kind of warned about this.
Please do it. Hire a professional artist, not on Fiverr.
So yeah, looking
You're
for a
right.
capsule artist on Fiverr
He specified that.
probably wasn't the smartest move. But this is my first game on Steam, so at that time it made sense for me to keep the cost low. After being mentally destroyed by the whole Steam capsule experience, I got a little lost. But one thing for sure is that making the marketing material had become a massive blocker. I'd never be able to publish this game if I didn't find a way to just move forward. That's when I made
Again, you cannot even publish it on Steam yet because it's not done. There's no content to share. Most of it are just prototypes.
a decision. I'd use AI for the marketing material as like a placeholder until I figure
don't
things
do that. Firstly, Steam gonna need you to disclose that nowadays, and this reduce the sales by a big percentage, by the way, in the future especially. AI art sucks. It does not really look good. Just look like a very weird art that you're gonna look at. See, I was really interested on how much you can get of a style from 3D or 2D art generated by AI, because I've been always fascinated on how could AI make stuff look weird yet they are so simple and basic. Like this cat, if any artist drew it, it would not look as weird as it looks right now. It looks so fucking horror-like, fucking impossible to create by someone. So I was already testing on that, and it's no, never do it. It always people gonna notice it. It's okay if you do it like between yourself or for a college project or for stuff like that. If you're gonna do that, nobody really cares. But if you are working with a commercial projects, you're gonna need to put yourself out of using AI in any way possible.
things out. I generated the voice in the trailer with 11 labs,
Enter the realm of Mighty Meow.
and for the
Alright,
capsule art,
alright.
I worked on top of images generated with GPT-4o. I might
Even the before art, which sucked, is better than that.
be hiring a real artist to do the marketing assets in the future, but for now, I just really
Like
needed to
even the beforehand bad art is better than this.
let go of my perfectionism and put up a Steam page so that I can move
No,
on.
it's not about putting. It's not about you need something so perfect and you are so paranoid. It's about trying to make something people really want to see. Oh, I want to play this video game, so they wishlist it.
So to answer the question, I didn't use it for the game itself, but it was heavily used for the marketing material. Now that the Steam page was live, it was time to make the announcement for my Steam page launch. I'm a bit shy when it comes to putting myself out there, especially for a game that I've been working on for so long. And it turned out that there was nothing to worry about because I wasn't getting much attention. The whole point of setting up a Steam page was to collect wish lists, but clearly things weren't going as planned.
Yeah, of course. When you just are publishing, do not expect as much of organic flow coming to the game. Very little amount of video games that really get this kind of attention the first time they publish it on Twitter and stuff like that. You need to publish. It's gonna be should be from the half production like phase. You start publishing some pictures or stuff like that till the end of the post production or the production phase. Let's say you need to start in the right way. You should start even publishing after like content for marketing even after the release of the game. Even in very good standardized stuff like this, you need to like generate content for months. We're talking for a year and a half and maybe more, just to get a good community for the game. You cannot just make 3 posts and thinking, oh, I'm gonna release the game tomorrow, guys, can you check it out, or gonna release it next week. That's not the right thing to do.
Fortunately, I remembered something that could help with this situation. The Steamworks dashboard shows all the upcoming events on Steam, and I remember seeing that there was a Next Fest scheduled for June, and free exposure is exactly what I need right now. But the problem is, I'm nowhere near releasing a demo. My game had no sound, no localization, no tutorials. It was full of
Your
bugs.
games and suffers from art direction, and you thought to put a Steam page is already a big... Again, guys, you need to plan how you are going to make your video game before making your video game. Don't do that. You cannot just... Like, you need to know when I'm gonna publish the game, it's gonna be in the... is it gonna be the summer sale? Because publishing your game in the summer sale is usually not a very good marketing strategy and stuff like that. You need to study it. It's a commercial project, not just a passion project anymore. It needs to have a very solid plan with a very solid timeline.
Bugs and unfinished features. Steam recommended submitting the demo by the 26th of May, giving me 3 months. It seemed like I had a lot of time, and also having a deadline added some urgency to my project, which was good. But it would have even been better if I didn't miss that deadline. I really wish I had a good explanation of why I didn't make it to the recommended submission date, but I don't. I just kind of missed it. It's not like I was slacking. I did work on the game.
It's just bad pre-production. Because Steam, when he thought you already put a Steam page, he thought that you are already done with 99% of the video game, maybe, or something like that, or 75 at least of the demo of the video game, by the way. So when you are suggested to put a demo for the game, so he thought that you done most of the things. That's why he suggests that timeline. It's not because it's really possible if you are just started prototyping for the game.
Almost every day whenever I had the time. But looking back, the issue wasn't how much I was doing, it was what I was doing. I think Peter Drucker put it best. Efficiency is doing things right. Effectiveness is doing the right things. The two are not the same. As an example, whenever I found a bug during a playtest, I'd write it down, and when I had a long list of issues to fix, I would fix them one by one during my focus time, which is early in the mornings before my work starts. And that's when I'm the most efficient. I was efficient, but not so much effective. What I should have done was ask myself a simple question before starting each task. How likely is this bug going to show up for the demo player during Next Fest? At that time, I was caught up by the idea that a demo should be perfect. It should have absolutely no bugs. But if that meant
it should have at least amount of bugs as possible. And you're gonna have a very big list of bugs that's gonna be happening even after releasing the demo or the game.
A deadline, then clearly it wasn't the right approach. If the bug would appear less than 80% of the time, I should have just dealt with it later. I reviewed my commit history to reflect on myself and...
Try fix all the bugs that you can fix, because you're gonna have multiple accessibility option errors, and many people gonna tell you to patch the game because they're gonna face like a lot of errors that you've never even noticed because their devices are different from your device.
And found many examples like this one. Make Korean frontline space wider. Was this really necessary? I mean, first, how many Koreans will be playing my demo during Next Fest?
Oh, I thought that too. Until I noticed that 39% of the people played my game were Korean for some fucking reason. So you accessibility option, believe me, is important. Like we were like, should we support traditional Chinese and simple Chinese in our video game? It's not really necessary to support multilingual support, but I was like, guys, we're already far in production, we have a lot of time, just let's do multilingual support. Most of the people that played our game were not even native speakers of English. And most of them from the language that we put on the multilingual support. More than 25 13,000 sales on Is This a Platformer from the 13,000 sales that we already sells for the game were not even English native speakers. So no, accessibility options are way more important than you think. Way more important.
And second, for the handful of Koreans, would it break the game if there was a slightly narrow line space in the UI? And why was I even working on localization in the first place? If I just skipped localization as a whole, I could have saved so much time. So that's how I missed the deadline. But I still had a chance, because technically 26th of May is the recommended date of submission, meaning that I can still submit, but it's just not guaranteed that the review process.
Why? You're still very early in production. This is very early in production. You should not even publish anything. People gonna criticize it so bad.
Will finish before Next Fest starts. So I did the best I could, kind of had to take away a lot of features.
Like, man, you need to understand, even after I finished the whole game, like the one is a platformer, many people, I've never had much of negative reviews about it. But when I look at the game, yet it's fully produced, I wanna fucking throw up. Because I don't like it. I am the one who developed it, and I don't find the game as fun as many people who played it. Because you need to have a certain standards when you are producing your video game. And I am someone who criticizes video games that I play very hardly, very harsh. So definitely I'm gonna criticize my video game as in the same manner. Of course, I do not put the decision of no, if I do not like it, we're not gonna publish it. This means we're not gonna publish most of our video games. So I keep it for a different group of people that decide this decision actually. But in my opinion, I find stuff, I'm not, especially that I'm the lead developer in the game, so I notice stuff that not many people notice it in my game, and I hate them so much. Like the pacing in the story of my game in the end gets too fast, that things get unclear, yet it's a comedy game. But I also hate the pacing on the end. I hate some of the differentiation of the pixel density between some large boss fights and in different areas. I hate some of the non-tile set approach for the game. So I hate a lot of stuff in my game, yet many people, we never had a negative Steam review for some reason. We never had a negative review for the game ever. Might just patches and bug fixes on the email and stuff like that. Yet we reached for like almost 13,000 people like bought the game and stuff like that. Yet I hate it. Oh my god, I wish I can recreate that thing just to fix these issues. Yet more issues gonna pop up, but yeah. So that game is way on prototype. What are you doing? You should not publish that, really, in my opinion. That would be bad.
And ended up submitting the demo on the 5th. And surprisingly, the demo was approved in 2 days, letting me making it to the Next Fest. The demo was rushed and it wasn't the best, but I'm just glad that I made it to Next Fest, which also meant I can submit Mighty Meow to Bite Me Games' Next Fest livestream, and luckily it got picked. Marnix from Bite Me Games played Mighty Meow, and it's the first time I could get feedback from somebody who makes games full-time, so I was really excited. The first thing he pointed out was that the demo button was not displayed as a green box on the top. In other words, for the majority of Next Fest, my demo button was displayed like this little blue button instead of this big green box here. Bad. Apparently, you need to dig through Steamworks and find this hidden checkbox to make the demo.
It's not really hidden, man.
Download button appear at the top section. I don't know why this isn't the default setting, but
because people sometimes don't want people to try the demo in that way, yeah. For especially some studios that work on their own.
Now I know. Nix also gave me some feedback on the game. The feedback was very honest and super helpful, which gave me a better understanding of what needs to improve for Mighty Meow.
Definitely the art just isn't up to standard for 2025. I think that's the first big thing. This feels like a game that could work in 2016. Combat works, but it's very basic. And I think the onboarding is like the meme of like, here's how you draw an all. Step 1, draw a circle. And then step 2, draw the rest. of like, okay, I go into here, but like, to what end? I rescue these guys, then they craft stuff for me. There's so much empty space that makes me feel like, oh, we're going to expand all of this, but probably you want to like lock these things off. The best meta move would be to go away from the dungeon crawling to a certain degree and go more in automation and like base buildy style game.
I want to give a
That's
huge
nice,
thanks
nice
to Bite Me
tips,
Games
nice.
for playing my game, and I wish them the best for their recent release, Kyoto Anomaly, which looks pretty cool. Since I've spent most of this video talking about what's wrong with my game or what's wrong with me, I do want to point out one thing that I think the game did pretty well. With the sample size of 83, the median playtime for the demo was 22 minutes, which is higher than I expected. I still
Yeah,
have players
that's
drop
not
off
bad.
within the first 10 minutes, so my next step is to kind of clarify the game's objective early on by improving the onboarding and see if that can help reduce the drop-off rate. Looking back at my project for the past year, I think my main takeaways were done is better than perfect. I should focus on the right things instead of trying to do more things. And
If you are seeing this video, you need to improve art direction, please. Art direction really is destroying your game.
I will be learning more by releasing than hiding my work. I know that these all sound cliche, just like
Also
the
level
typical
design,
game
yeah.
dev advice we get on the internet, but it wasn't until now that I started to really understand what they meant. I really want to improve Mighty Meow, so if you've played the demo, I'd be super grateful if you can give me some feedback in the comment section below. I'd love to hear your thoughts.
So, an amazing video by Jamie Dev. Definitely go and check out her channel. Give us your opinion in the comments. What made this thing not work actually? So, thanks for watching, and see you in the next episode.